Yeah, I watched some college games too. Yeah. All right, hello everybody. Try to catch up on being off a week this time of year. Last week was an unusual week for us. I think it's the first time in my time here. We actually went into break mode. We were limited by the length of the season or whatever, so we only had a 2-hour on the ice and 8-hour workout period during the week, which is more of an off-season type thing. So that's unusual. It wasn't just an off weekend of playing and we could have normal practice. We didn't have a normal practice week. We had limited practice time last week. We skated Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. And now we resume a normal week we did yesterday. So coming off the Michigan weekend, I thought we played pretty well overall. I thought we had a lot more consistency in our game, which was positive. Disappointed we didn't win the shootout, but to get 4 out of 6 points and play as well as we did on the road, I thought that was a real positive. I thought Ed Minnie played really well. And, we've talked about consistency. It's interesting. I was listening to Tom, some of his comments on the radio and on their team, and finding consistency with as many freshmen as they play. And, that's been an issue for us, but I thought we were pretty consistent on that particular weekend, and we need to establish that level of consistency in all parts of our game moving forward. So Wisconsin presents similar challenges that we've seen. I think their team's playing with a lot of confidence. They've been playing really well. If I was telling Barnesy, if you go back and look at my comments about their team the past couple years, they've been criticized because they didn't win so much. But I thought they had a lot of talent on their team. It was just youthful. It was inexperienced. And that's all proven to be the case. I think guys are growing up, and they've earned a lot of experience over the last couple of years, and now their team's really coming together. So they present challenges in many different ways. I think they have a lot of depth up front. They've been scoring with a lot of consistency. They've got some real talented high-end players up front in particular, and their special teams have been pretty consistent. So they're coming off of two good series for themselves, actually on the road at home against Minnesota, with that split that they had a chance to win both games, and then the split series at Ohio State and in New York. Those were two real good games that they played. So they're playing real well, and that's a good challenge for us. I think our team's going to be real eager to get back at it and play coming off of our last series. We have a couple guys banged up. I don't know what their status will be. Ed Minnie's one of them, and JT Stangline's another. They haven't practiced the past whatever we've been off since we played, and so I'm not sure what their status will be on the weekend at this point. But that's where we're at, and happy to take your questions.
Tom, was Minnie's situation occurred in the game against Michigan?
It did.
It did.
The second game, yeah.
Lower body or upper body?
Yes.
Okay, starting again. You touched on this a little briefly when the Michigan series was going on, but what has Taro Hirose done for this team after 22 games, and what are his challenges coming in, and what's he done in your estimation?
Well, like any freshman coming in, I think one of the largest challenges you have is just adapting to the speed and the strength of the game. And if you see him walking down the hall, he's not this big, strapping, burly guy. He's a guy that plays with a very high hockey IQ, and he's adapted very quickly, in my opinion, to this level of hockey. He can think the game really well. So while he's not going to be the fastest guy on the ice, I think he gets up and down with terrific pace. I think that he plays the game real fast because he can think the game so quickly. So he seems to be a step ahead, not just with the puck, but without the puck, and on the defensive side of the puck as well. Very good defensive player. Very, very good defensive player. He reminds me in many ways, not so much in his style, but in his thought process. I remember Rem Murray as a freshman, and when he came here, he exceeded our expectations at the time because he really played the game in a smart manner. And I see, again, from an hockey intellect perspective, I see similarities in their game. But, he's made an immediate impact. He's playing in every situation. He's logging a lot of ice time. And, again, he plays at 160 pounds. So he's, I think his favorite player is Johnny Gaudreau, and that would be great if he develops into a college-level Johnny Gaudreau.
But his hands seem to be so great, like bringing the puck up the ice, distributing it from the point during the power play.
Very, very good hands, real good vision, and I think maybe most importantly of all those things, you can have terrific hands and you can even see things, but he's got a lot of poise, and I think that poise is what's allowed him to make as quick a transition to this level as he has.
Tom, 6 of the next 8 at home. Is this a time for a chance for your team to show that some of the things you've been talking about can develop and make some hay here?
It is. We have, the rest of the schedule is very demanding. And you look at, I know last week, you look at 3 of the Big Ten teams are in the top 10 in the country, and we play a number of games against those guys. So I think it presents lots of good opportunity. And again, I liked a lot of what we did 2 weeks ago, but I think the part that I liked the most was the consistency in our game in every phase: goaltending, defense, special teams. Our power play, while our season-long percentage hasn't been all that great, if you look over the past 2 months, it's pretty darn good. And so it's really evolving. Our penalty kill, which started so poorly, I think it's coming. It still has a ways to go, but it's coming. We're gaining some confidence. I think we're getting a better understanding of what we need to do. And as I've said before, your goalie has to be your best penalty killer, and I thought Ed's done a pretty good job with that of late. So it does present lots of opportunity against good teams, and when you're at home, you obviously want to perform well.
Tom, you talked about the schedule just a little bit, but given the fact that the holiday break isn't that long ago and coming off this big weekend where you finally get some points in the conference table and, like you said, you killed all the penalties and it just had relatively a good all-around weekend. Was this break come at a bad time, or do you not worry so much about that?
Yeah, you can think through that. You'd love to keep playing, That's just the breaks of how things lay out. But I would have loved to have kept playing because, again, I thought a lot of good things came from that weekend. But it didn't, so we're going to have to look at it. We got a couple guys banged up. Maybe it'll buy a little bit of time for those guys. Now we're really in the stretch run, the push between now and the end of the regular season. So it's just all out week after week, and every game is going to be very challenging, very demanding. And I guess I'm going to put a positive spin on it and look at it as an opportunity to get some rest going into that stretch run.
I'm trying to remember if it was Sam. You said that you were out scouting somebody else out in that area, and you saw him. You weren't intentionally scouting him.
Sam Saliba?
Yeah, was
yes.
he the guy? Was that the guy?
Yeah.
So I imagine you're pretty pleased with having a guy like that, and then Chris Knudsen gets in there too, and some of these guys you might not expect to be contributing to some of the bottom line guys get in there. And
definitely. In Sam's case, he was a big scorer in the USHL last year, and he was a captain of his team, and he shows a lot of that leadership already here. He's an older freshman, and I told him when he came back from the holiday break that he's not a freshman anymore, that we expect him to take a step, and I think he's been doing that. So I think he's going to have a really good career here. I think he can play in a lot of different situations, and I think he's gaining lots of confidence. As far as Chris Knudsen is concerned, he took advantage of opportunity. Every team in every sport has players who have certain roles, and those roles aren't always easy to put your arms around and get yourself ready for when your opportunity presents itself. And he had a bit of a storybook situation happen on the road that night at Michigan because, he was a player that I sat him down last summer and said, I don't think you're going to get an opportunity to play on defense, but, you do all the things that contribute to the team. I know you're not getting playing time like you'd like, but we think you're important to have part of it. And if you're willing to adjust and try to play some forward, it might give you a better chance to actually play. And He's done that. He's remained very patient. That's not easy for somebody to do during times, especially, we went through obviously some times that have been very challenging this year. And yet he remained positive. His work ethic remained very high. And I always tell our guys, every team needs a bullpen catcher. And that bullpen catcher, while you're maybe not going to be an All-American, in the sense that everybody knows you can be an All-American bullpen catcher. And he's been an All-American in the limited role that he's been given. And he was ready for his opportunity and made a huge impact. And so, we put him in the lineup hoping that he'd make some type of impact. We thought he could bring some physicality to the lineup. We thought he'd be hungry. We thought maybe there'd be an opportunity because his teammates really respect him, that it might inspire some guys, and I think the way he scored and the way he played did inspire guys. So I think that was a confidence boost for him, a confidence boost for his teammates. I thought his line really kind of came together and gives us something, and we need that. And so, now he needs to sustain that and maintain that on a daily basis, and I know he'll work real hard at it.
So what specifically do you think you guys did against Michigan, and what are you going to try, how are you going to try to translate that to the Wisconsin series?
Well, when I talk about consistency, I thought I'll start in goal. We were very consistent in goal. We stopped the pucks that we should stop, and we made some big saves when we needed to make some big saves. That's what you need to get your goaltender to give you a chance to win every night. Special teams, I thought our special teams were consistent both nights. I thought we had several good looks. Disappointed we weren't able to score a power play goal in game 2 in overtime to win that game. But I thought overall our special teams gave us a chance both nights. I think maybe more importantly is we defended well. So they really had to earn their opportunities. Obviously, the first night was a shutout, and I thought we did a real good job, especially on the road. We gave up no odd man rushes. We defended in the zone real well. We minimized their quality chances. Those are the kinds of things that we have to do with consistency. Goal scoring generally is going to go up and down. We need to find ways to continue to increase our scoring. I think that's eventually going to come as we gain confidence, experience, and poise with a lot of the guys. But we are getting good looks and good opportunities, and that needs to remain. So against Wisconsin, last time we played them, we did not play well defensively. And we have to do a much better job this series and moving forward. You can't be giving up 4 and 5 goals a night if you expect to win. So it all starts with playing good, strong, foundational defense.
Tom, you looked at the power play, and I think you scored a power play goal in 8 of the last 9 games. What's been better about it over the last couple months?
Well, we've tweaked a few things. I think, we've moved some guys around, trying to find the best spots for them. I think guys have gained experience. The one unit has 2 sophomores and 3 freshmen on it. So it takes time to gain some experience. And I think we're doing a real good job entering the zone overall. I think we're doing a good job moving the puck around. I'd like to see a little bit more finish, but we're getting some good looks, and we've been scoring pretty much a goal a game, which has been positive. Be a real test against Wisconsin because they'll push you pretty good. They'll push you up ice. They put a lot of pressure on you. They'll jump and go score shorthanded if they can. Yeah, so they're pretty aggressive in their penalty kill. And even our other unit, which takes a little bit different approach. I think we've had good possession time. We're getting pucks to the net, which has been an objective for us. So I think as we're gaining experience, we're getting more confident. We're getting a better understanding of what we're trying to accomplish, and hopefully our conversion rate will continue to rise.
The second unit is the one with Cox and Ebbing and Kodorenko.
Mm-hmm. No, Kodorenko's on the other unit. That group, they've gained good possession time. We want them to get the puck to the net when the opportunity presents itself, and I think they've been doing a pretty decent job. They haven't gotten tons of time on it, but I think they've done a pretty darn good job.
You've said several occasions this year you like this team.
Mm-hmm.
Is Is it safe to say you're disappointed or surprised they only have 5 wins going into February, or?
Yeah, I'm disappointed. Surprised? I don't know if I'd say surprised too. But when you have the luxury of looking back, you're not surprised at why. We played a real good schedule against good teams. We have been a pretty inexperienced group, and we've played with that inexperience. So it's not like our schedule has given us the latitude of kind of growing up. It's been very demanding, and yet I wouldn't change it. But we've got to do a better job of elevating our game and finding that level of consistency every single night. So I think our group has a good understanding of what it takes. It's a matter of executing. With the exception of one game this season, and virtually every practice, our work habits have been exceptional, and I've been very pleased with that. It's our execution and our execution at a high level on a consistent basis that we have to continue to strive
So
for.
is there a silver lining in that the lumps you're taking will help some of these young players in the longer run?
Absolutely. Look at the opponent that we're playing this weekend. They've taken some pretty hard lumps the last couple years, and that's fundamentally the same team that they've had over the last couple years, and they're growing up. They've gained experience. They've found some confidence. And so, if you guys look back at my comments on their team the last couple of years, they won 4 games, and I don't know what it was. And they were struggling, but man, they were competing hard every night. They were playing well together every night. You could see the talent level on their team, and it was just bubbling, and now it's starting to come together. So, experience and success matters because it builds confidence. Good? Okay.
Tom, did you see the Wisconsin Ohio State game?
I did.
See some of those hits?
Yeah.
It seemed like in the NHL, those would be good hits, but in college, it's like, wow.